Stay at Home Dead, Chapter 30. If I was going down, I was going to go down looking good. Staying home with Carly did not call for many occasions to dress myself up. My work attire consisted mostly of shorts, t-shirts, and sandals. I shaved about every third day. The occasional A&M hat on my head. I would have looked silly wearing a three-piece suit to the park. But I figured I better look like I was taking this whole thing seriously at Red Lamont. So I showered, shaved, and busted out the good stuff. The only suit I owned, navy and tailored, a Brooks Brothers Pinpoint Oxford, a gift from Julianne. A red and blue striped tie stolen from my dad when I needed one for a dinner at Julianne's firm about a year prior and never returned. And shiny black wingtips knockoffs, not name brands because dress shoes are stupidly expensive. And if I'm spending money on shoes, it's going to be on cool looking running shoes, dressed to impress. I dropped Carly at my parents' house. My father looked me up and down as she skidded past him into the house. You look ready. I am, I said, standing tall. I meant you look ready to walk right into the coffin before they bury you. Stay nimble on your feet in case they try to shove you in. Families are so awesome. The first thing I noticed about the parking lot at the Red Lamont was how crowded it was. I didn't like that. I expected there to be a few folks, but I wasn't looking to argue this out in front of a huge audience. I imagined most of the folks were simply there to be entertained. The second thing I noticed was that Julianne had not yet arrived. And the third thing I noticed, unfortunately, was Darlene Andrews. She sashayed across the lot in my direction, her hair blotting out the moon and the stars. The only thing I saw in the sky was a giant white ribbon lifting her locks to new and superior heights. Is Julianne coming? She asked, scanning the parking lot, then lifting her eyes back to me. She'll be here. Too bad, she mumbled. What? Nothing. She linked her arm against mine. Are you nervous? I thought about uncalling my arm from hers, knocking her to the ground and making a run for it. But I was already in enough trouble. I'm fine, Darlene. It's like a snake pit in there, she said, pushing in closer to me than was necessary. You remember that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indiana Jones has to go into that hole full of snakes? She squeezed my arm. They're like the snakes. And you are just like Indy. Fantastic. We reached the steps that descended down into the school, and I stopped. I'm going to wait out here for Julianne. We reached the steps that descended down into the school, and I stopped. I'm going to wait out here for Julianne. The enthusiasm sagged out of her body. Not that anything ever really sagged on Darlene. Oh, would you like me to wait with you? She squeezed my arm again. For company or anything else. I'll be all right, Darlene, I said, distangling our arms. Go on in and get a good seat. I'll see you inside in a few minutes. Okay, she said and pointed a hot pink fingernail at me. Remember, you're Indiana. She went down the stairs and disappeared inside. I lied to Darlene. I was nervous. I paced back and forth to burn off some of that anxiety, waiting for Julianne. A few people stopped by on their way in, nodding or waving hello. I wondered whose side they were on, Indy's or the snakes. My cell phone buzzed in my pocket and I answered. I'm late, Julianne said. I'm sorry. It's okay. I should be there in about 5 minutes. Is it crowded? I glanced at the full parking lot. No, just the entire town. You sound nervous. Well, Darlene just tried to push me down the bushes and take advantage of me. So that may be it. She's pretty strong. So's her hair, Julianne said. Pamela lights, just relax. It's going to be fine. I did some reading today. Reading? Of the school's bylaws. They're going to end up kissing my incredible behind by the time I'm done with them. I hadn't done no looking at the school's bylaws. I, in fact, didn't even know what bylaws were. It had never occurred to me to do anything like that, and I'm excited that it was hidden. DEFCON 1. I was angry over being called out by the worms, but maybe I wasn't taking this seriously enough. I strolled over near a bank of hedges that ran along the edge of the amphitheater. Jules, I don't want you handling this for me. I know that, she said, and you take your shot. I'll only get in the way if I need to. She paused. I'm about 30 seconds away. I didn't want her handling the whole thing. This was my fight, and I wanted to defend myself, no matter how ridiculous the fight was. But it was good to know I had the best backup in the business if I needed her. I'm turning in right now, she said. Where are you? I turned to the parking lot, my back to the hedge. I saw her Lexus coming in at the far end of the lot. I'm here in front of you on your left. Her flashlights flashed across the lot and met my and hit me in the eyes. I brought a hand across the top of my eyes. Dude, she said. Who is that behind you? Nobody, it's the hedge. No, there's a person behind the hedge. Who was that? As I started to turn around, something hard and heavy thumped the back of my head. The phone fell out of my hand and I dropped to my knees. Stars dancing in my eyes. One more shot to the back of the head, and the stars dropped out of my eyes as the payment came rushing at me before all the light disappeared.